Here we are in day 5, and we've been doing some challenges. We've been looking at Old Testament scripture, looked at a little bit of New Testament, but really understanding this one core idea this week of cleansing baptism, God's salvation coming through water, and then seeing that represented through purification rituals and cleansing rituals. And we've done some challenges to kind of take us into that idea. And now, today, we're going to go into the New Testament. But before we do, we're going to set our hearts and minds through prayer. We've tried and done a couple of different things. We have done just a personal time of prayer. We've done an exercise where we used the paper and kind of drew it out. And then we've done kind of movement and motion in prayer, to kneel or to bow, to be on the floor as an act of humility. And I encourage you to continue to use all of these things. These are kind of just different aspects that start to show us how we can kind of mold ourselves in prayer. And so today we're going to introduce kind of another way that we're going to do this time of prayer, and that's going to be through a sacred space or a dedicated space. Holy and dedicated are the same thing. So if you can think of it this way, a dedicated space or sacred space or holy space. We've been talking a lot about holiness, this idea of it being set apart and dedicated for a specific thing, very other than anything else. And in that, it becomes this clean, pure place. And so what we're going to do from now until the end of the journey, I want to challenge you to find a space. That's right. You heard me right. From now till the end of the journey, I want you to find a space that is your kind of personal, holy, dedicated, sacred space. If that is in your car, on your way to work every morning, if that's when you listen to these and watch and do these, please don't watch them while you're driving, actually. But if it's in your car, if it's on your back patio, if it's in a study, a specific chair, wherever it is, designate a space and say, from now to the end of this journey, all that's going to happen in this small little space is doing these devotionals and this time of prayer together. I can't go there and listen to other music. I can't go there and read another book. This is all I'm going to do in this space from now to the end of this journey. And it will just kind of teach us a little bit more about this idea of dedication. And it can even help us invoke the understanding of purity, where the idea of it's got to be separate and it can't touch the other aspects of it to be set apart. And I want you to pick that space, and during this time of prayer, I encourage you to use some of the other exercises and the other actions that we've done, but I want you to set your heart and mind in this dedicated space. And it needs to be a personal space. It can be, at a park bench or something like that just as well. But the idea is more of this, it's between you and God and personal. It's not to be publicized everywhere else in that regard. So I want you to take this time, take this space, set your heart and mind, because we're diving into the New Testament, and this is where we see those visions come to pass. So set your heart and mind on what it is that we've been learning. So now that we are prepared spiritually and mentally, and we're in our space that we have designated, let's jump in to the New Testament today. And we're going to start seeing those visions from Ezekiel and Isaiah. We're going to see how they actually take us right into the actual life of Jesus, and to see kind of what we see happening with this idea of immersed baptism transitioning into the New Testament.